Hello everyone, good morning. Today is 29th of July and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, in the today's video, we'll take the entire analysis of the Hindu we'll take all the articles along with the background. And I would also like to tell you that you can download the explainer notes of this session from our Telegram channel. Link for the Telegram channel is given in the description box in YouTube. Fine. Let's first of all take the overview of entire newspaper so that we can understand that which articles are actually important in the today's newspaper. Now, first of all, guys, here we have on the first page, keeping literature on violence not a terror act, says Supreme Court. So basically, guys, two of the activists were arrested into the aftermath of the Bhima Koregaon case. Fine, because they had some journal, okay, some text advocating the violence. So on that basis, you cannot arrest people on UAPA. That has been ruled by Supreme Court. Okay, so bail has been given. Then further moving on, Supreme Court asks Center 6 states to respond to plea on lynchings. So guys, basically we see this particular thing that in the past there have been so many of the lynchings that have been done. Okay, particularly in the on many of the social dimensions. Okay, then further moving on, disquiet on India over Sharad Pawar, not important article for the examination. Then guys, further moving on, we reach to the city section. In the city section we have the regional issues, regional news. Nothing much important is there for the examination. Then again, the political remarks and all such kind of things have been given. So guys, directly we will reach to the editorial section, and on editorial, the first article, charting the path for the 16th Finance Commission. We'll see this particular article with respect to the examination. Then here, by allowing ED chief continuance, the Supreme Court has undermined its own authority. So basically guys, recently we have seen this particular thing that Supreme Court, it is being said that Supreme Court is deferring the appointment of the new ED, and the old Sanjay Kumar Mishra, the head of the ED, has been allowed to continue till the September 15. Okay, now guys, understand this particular thing that the Enforcement Directorate has been criticized a lot in the past few months because it has been said that it is being used for the political purposes, and in that capacity retaining the chief might not send a good signal. This dimension has been given. However, no need to go too much in detail in that particular direction. Mr. Mishra, his tenure, all these personal dimensions have come here. Then further moving on, guys, in this particular direction, a spectacle of the repentance and the symbolic inclusion. Okay, basically guys, what happened recently, you might have been also be knowing this thing that recently a video clip of a functionary of the of a political party was released who was seen urinating on a tribal person. Okay, after that, what happened, NSA, National Security Act, was applied, his home was bulldozed, and all such kind of a thing has happened. Now it has been provided that how such kind of exploitation is going on, what basically here, find the RSS's framework, find how that is all these particular kind of things are being discussed. My point is that for the examination, the article doesn't contain much of the substance, so I'll not advise you to go too much in detail in this particular thing. Fine. After that, we have this ground zero report. Now guys, on the ground zero report, actually what they do, they take any issue going on, and from the ground they report and they narrate the incidents of the people, how all the issues are going on. Now in the armed conflict on the war of women, so basically this article is talking about that how women are being targeted. Then further we have the political articles largely here that has been given. No need to go too much in detail. India Japan will work to strengthen peacetime cooperation. We'll see this particular article for the examination. Then guys, further moving on, after that India can become the hub of chip making industry. We'll see this particular article. One thing I want to tell you guys, today text and context is not there, which is a 2-page section that comes in the Hindu, which contains some really good articles. So the text and context is not there, and even the science section is not published because today is the Saturday. Okay, then no legally binding instrument. We'll see this particular thing. Land use changes putting rocky addresses of animal under stress in Sahyadri Plateau. So basically guys, the article is just giving one line concept that actually what has happened today in the Sahyadri's region, mango cashew plantations are taking place. Find a monoculture kind of a thing is happening, and because of that many many insects and many such kind of flies, etc. Their habitat is getting disturbed. Then further moving on, Hong Kong turns down government plea to ban protest song. Not important for our examination. Fine. Army general declare himself leader of Niger. Then on the business page we have this particular article. Government allows Indian companies to list on foreign exchanges through IFSC. We'll see this particular article with respect to the examination. Then US inflation, okay, Indian oil quarter 1 profit, all such things have been given. Then guys, we have the sports page. So guys, in the today's newspaper, just a few things I want to tell you. Much articles that are relevant or are to be seen in detail are not there. Fine, we have a few articles which are actually relevant, and actually the text and context page is not there, and the science page is also not there in the today's newspaper. So selected articles are there, and now we'll see them one by one. So let's start with the discussion now. Okay guys, so every class we start with the GS quotation, and this quotation can be used to complement your answers in the GS paper number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So today we'll take the quotation from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar says that justice has always evoked ideas of equality, of proportion, compensation. In short, justice is another name of liberty, equality and fraternity. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has equated the justice with the liberty, equality, fraternity. Okay, so that is all guys. Now you see this particular thing that when we talk about the GS paper number 2, polity, governance, and even when we talk about the ethics, there the application of such kind of a thing can be done. Okay, so basically without the fraternity at hand, fine, without the equality and liberty at the hand, justice will not come. In the today's society which has got fragmented on the basis of caste, religion, ethnicity, so much kind of a thing, fraternity is truly important. Okay, so this is called as a trinity of justice. Fine, so you can use it in your exam. Now moving on to the first article for the today. Need legally binding instrument to end plastic pollution, Prime Minister. Now guys, in this particular article, actually we have in this particular article there are multiple initiatives that are being driven by the government of India, and their key summaries kind of a thing has been given. So this article can be a very important one. You can use this particular references from this particular article in all your GS paper number 2 and 3 answers. Let's discuss that what actually this particular issue is all about. So basically what happened, the Prime Minister was addressing the G20 environment ministers meeting. So right now, as India is chairing the G20, more than 200 meetings will held across the India on different themes in the 2023. So G20 environment ministers meeting was being held, and here the Prime Minister has called all the G20 nations that they should work together to ensure that there is effective and internationally binding instrument on the plastic pollution. Now guys, see this particular thing that today when we talk about the plastic pollution, it has led to a lot of problems, particularly on the ocean ecosystem. You might have heard about the word microplastic. So basically guys, what are the microplastics? These are the tiny plastics that get disintegrated from the big pieces of plastics. Even these microplastics are being used in things, for example face wash, toothpaste, etc. These microplastics, they enter the ocean, and there they enter the sea ecosystem, they enter the fishes, they enter all the sea creatures, and today microplastic has become very big problem. So in order to deal with the plastic pollution, the Prime Minister has urged the G20 nations. One more thing I want to tell you guys, we last year has also come out with the plastic waste management rules, and under this plastic waste management rules, India has banned the single-use plastics. Single-use plastics have been banned. Now further, the Prime Minister has also talked about this thing, that the countries need to be more serious vis-a-vis their nationally determined contributions are concerned. Countries need to invest more in developing the renewable energies. Now guys, when we talk about the renewable energies, okay, renewable energies. Understand this particular thing, guys. India has taken the target to achieve the 40% of the electricity by 2030. This target we took in 2015 in the Paris, but guys, already in 2021 we have fulfilled this particular target. So 9 years ahead of the 2030 date we have fulfilled our target, and today 41% of India's electricity is coming from the renewables. So in this particular capacity, the world countries also need to take the initiative. Today India is in the top 5 countries in terms of the installed renewable energy capacity, and because 40% of our electricity, 41% is already coming from renewables, India will attain the net zero by 2070 or even before that. Further, the Prime Minister has also talked about that United Nation Climate Convention, or UNFCCC, and under the Paris Agreement, global South's concerns should also be taken forward. Now, what is this global South and what are their concerns? Let's understand this particular thing. So basically, guys, the global South is the word that is used for the developing countries, because if you see the Western Europe and the North America, which are the developed parts of the world, they are largely into the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere we have the South, we have the Asia, we have the Africa, here we have the Latin America, South America, which are largely the developing countries. So global South are the developing countries. Now understand this particular thing, guys, that in the Copenhagen, okay, I have told you, I think it yesterday also. So in Copenhagen 2009, it was agreed that the developed countries will give the climate finance to the developing countries, and $100 billion of climate finance was to be given by 2020. But up till now, this climate finance has not come. So basically, if the climate change is a serious goal world countries are taking up, then the global South's climate finance technology transfer has to be given to them immediately. Then further moving on, Prime Minister has also referred to as the small island states such as Polynesia, Fiji, and there are so many of the small island states. They have been referred to as the large ocean countries. So how they are being referred to as the large ocean countries? Now, when we use the word small island states, it shows that we are giving them a relatively less importance into the global politics. It has also been said that today when we talk about the ocean are supporting the livelihood of nearly 3 billion people across the world, and as these countries are sitting in the oceans, their concerns are particularly more important. Then Prime Minister also mentioned about the Project Tiger. So basically, guys, because of the Project Tiger's success, 70% of the world's tiger today are in India, and on this particular line, government is also working to come out with the Project Lion and Project Dolphin. So government is working on that, and whenever it will come out, we'll take that. Further, the Prime Minister has also talked about the Mission Amrit Sarovar. Now, what is this Mission Amrit Sarovar? So under the Mission Amrit Sarovar, the more than 63,000 water bodies have been developed in just 1 year. Okay, and also he has mentioned about that how through the Namami Gange mission. So Namami Gange mission is to clean the Ganga river. So under the Namami Gange river mission, what has happened because of the success of it, the Gangetic dolphin, which got disappeared from the Ganga river and its tributaries, it has again reappeared. It has re-emerged again. So this is the success of the Namami Ganga, and in the Namami Ganga, the communities, local people have also contributed quite significantly. Fine. So that is about it. And now moving to the next article. Modi says India can become the hub of chip making industry. So guys, so first of all, this particular article will see with respect to the GS paper number 3 sectors of Indian economy, manufacturing sector particularly. Now, first of all, when we talk about the semiconductors, what are the semiconductors? Semiconductor are small thumbnail sized chips which give the computational capacity to every electronic component, to your mobile phone, your tablet. When they need to operate these devices, computational capacity comes from the semiconductor chips. Now today when we talk about, guys, the semiconductors, Taiwan today makes more than 70% of the semiconductor chips in the world, and the in case of the advanced semiconductor chips, Taiwan is making 90% of the advanced semiconductor chips. TSMC, this is the company of Taiwan which makes the 90% of the semiconductor chips. Now India wants to develop the semiconductor chips. For that particular thing, guys, already under the production linked incentive scheme, government of India is giving 76,000 crore rupees of incentives to the companies so that they come and open their semiconductor facilities in India. Now guys, in this particular direction, what has happened? India has now hosted the Semicon India 2023, which is a conclave that was held in the Gujarat, where the investors, semiconductor manufacturers were invited, and they were showcased that how India holds the opportunities, that India can become the global hub for semiconductor, India can become the hub for the chip making. So they come and they should invest in India. And when we talk about India, particularly the internet penetration, fiber infrastructure, fine talent, huge market, friendly and attractive corporate tax system, all this will be very much beneficial for the semiconductor manufacturers. Now guys, as internet penetration has happened, the population using the internet, mobile phones, tablets, they are going to increase. So the semiconductors will have a big market even in the India. Now, I have told you we have taken certain initiatives also. For example, the production linked incentive scheme for the semiconductor. And because of that, India's exports of semiconductor, which stood just $30 billion few years back, has reached to $100 billion. Today, we have 200 mobile manufacturing units in India because semiconductors can be procured locally by them. And because of this particular thing, on this Semicon India conference, one of a US chip maker and a big giant US chip maker, you have heard of its name also, Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. They have said that they will invest $400 million in India in the next 5 years, and the largest design center of the chips and semiconductors will be developed in the India. So these are all the recent initiatives that have come in this particular direction. So guys, when you are writing your answers, so semiconductor industry can be a low hanging fruit for India, which India should use. Please use these particular kind of references. Now, moving on to the next article, charting the path for the 16th Finance Commission. So we'll see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 2 as well as GS paper number 3 both. Fine. Now, basically guys, right now the 15th Finance Commissions is going on. When we talk about Finance Commission, so under the article, just a minute, fine. Right now the 15th Finance Commission is going on. So guys, under the article number 280 of the Indian Constitution, President constitutes the Finance Commission. The Finance Commission will give the formula as on how much the taxes should be given to the state and how much proportion of the taxes should be given to the center. Is it clear or not? For example, guys, when we talk about the direct taxes, particularly, for example, income tax and all the direct taxes, corporate taxes, these taxes directly go to the union government. So those particular taxes have to be divided between the union and the states. So how much percentage will go to the union, how much percentage will go to the state, then what are the criteria on which the states will be getting their respective share, how to increase the finance, all these recommendations and some other things also the Finance Commission can give. So President constitutes under Article 280 after every 5 years. So now the 15th Finance Commission is going on and the 16th Finance Commission will be constituted. It will give its recommendations, okay, in some time. Now the article is talking about that basically since the 15th Finance Commission came, a lot of things have got changed. For example, the COVID-19 pandemic came. Okay, geopolitical challenges right now, Russia-Ukraine war is going on. Today, the debt of the states as well as center has also increased. So combined debt to GDP ratio is going at 90%. So if our 100 rupees our GDP, debt is 90 rupees. This is something that is happening. Now, when we talk about, guys, the Finance Commission, I told you that the Finance Commission recommends that how much percentage of revenue should go to the state, how much should go to the center. So 14th Finance Commission was very important. Why? Because it recommended that 42% of the total revenues that the union government is receiving, out of that 42% will go to the states. Earlier 32% was going on. Fine. However, guys, 15th Finance Commission reduced this 42% to 41%. Why? Because meanwhile, Jammu and Kashmir became a union territory. So, because of that thing, 41% is going on. Now, it has been provided that 10% increase have been given to the states from 32% to 42%. But center could easily manage this particular situation because a lot of additional grants were also being given to the states, which were recommended by the Planning Commission. But these grants have now been suspended. So as the grant money will not come, not go, so 10% additional can be given by the center. Okay, now guys, the article is talking about this thing that okay, now the state's government financial condition is not very much good. There is need to be re-examine the role of non-shareable cess and surcharge. Now guys, understand this particular thing. Now government is imposing many of the cesses and surcharge. For example, Krishi Kalyan cess is there. Fine. Then there is the education cess. Many cess are there. Now cess is actually the tax on tax. Tax on tax. Okay, suppose I bought 100 rupees item. On that 10 rupees was the tax. On this 10 rupees, 10%, that is 1 rupee, it can be the cess or surcharge. Now such cess, it is not divided between the center and the state. All this money will be kept by the center. So the article is saying that we can relook that whether can the cess, some component of cess can also be given to the state or not. That is something that has been provided. Then further, the article is also saying this particular thing that see, today the gross tax revenue for the states, it stands to 31%. Now, first of all, what is the meaning of this gross tax revenue? So what is gross tax revenue? Total direct taxes of the union and total indirect taxes of the union. Okay. So what is the gross tax revenue? Total direct, just a minute. Yes, total, see. Now, union government is getting the direct taxes as well as the indirect taxes. For example, the GST share union government is also getting. Okay. Now, in that, how much the union will give to the, how much will go to union, how much will go to the states. Now, understand this thing. Direct tax component is also going on. So, the GTR rate stands at 31%. Fine. Effectively, this much only is going to the states. Understand this thing, though 42% was recommended by the Finance Commission, but actually never the 42% has come. Always it has been less. And how much it is going on right now? 31% is going on, which is less. Now, article is talking about this particular thing that when the center gives money to the states, it is calculated on the basis of many parameters. For example, the population of that state, per capita income of that state, area of that state, fine forest cover, demographic change, how many population increased, decreased, all these things are taken up. Now guys, when we talk about the per capita income, so basically top 3 states in the India which has the highest per capita income, on the basis of that particular number, the income distance is to be seen. For example, the top 3 states in the terms of the per capita income, let's say the Maharashtra, let's say any XYZ 3 states are there which are having the top per capita income, and here per capita income is 100 rupees. So now there are certain states where per capita income is 50 rupees, some states there are 30 rupees, some states there are 60 rupees. So far away the state is, more money will be given. So what it means in very simple words, poor states will get more money. Now rich states are actually criticizing this particular thing. They are saying this particular thing that we need to reduce this particular weightage. Fine. Why rich states are being penalized? They say that there needs to be actually an equalization principle. Fine. For example, population, fine, other criteria should be used, just the poverty of a state should not be used. Then further, it has been provided that the 16th Finance Commission should take up one particular matter immediately, that is the development of a loan council. Now guys, what is this loan council? So basically, 12th Finance Commission recommended the loan council as a body which will see that how much loan can be taken by center, how much loan can be taken by the states. Fine, if their loan are going up, then the recommendations can be given. So this is something. And then the 16th Finance Commission should also see the non-merit subsidies which are going to the rich, subsidies which are not that much needed. Okay, so this is something that is to be taken up. Fine. Then guys, further moving on, government allows Indian companies to list on foreign exchange through IFSC. We'll see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 3 economy as well as the prelims examination. We'll see this thing. Then union now basically guys, what has happened? So the union finance minister has unleashed some of the reforms in the financial sector. First of all guys, in 2020 the finance minister had said this particular thing, that the Indian companies which are operating in the gift city, now gift city is the Gujarat, in the Gujarat, gift city is a greenfield city which is treated as a foreign territory. Fine, this gift city is a special economic zone. It is a city specializing into the financial technology, financial products. Okay, so within the gift city there is the International Financial Service Center. So basically guys, understand this particular thing, the companies that are operating in the gift city and or in the IFSC, International Financial Service Center, the companies here, they can list their shares onto the international share markets, on the Tokyo Exchange, in the London Exchange, New York Stock Exchange. They can list their shares and from there they can get the access to the money. So this is a kind of an important reform that has been given, and by this particular thing, what can happen? The Indian companies will be able to raise the capital from the overseas market. Then second, the limited purpose clearing corporation. Limited purpose clearing corporation. So basically guys, what has happened? So few months back, government has also announced the tri-party repo. Tri-party repo. Now what is the meaning of this tri-party repo? First of all, let's understand this particular thing. Now this repo has nothing to do with the repo rate, reverse repo rate that government, that Reserve Bank of India and the central bank have to do. That is not that. Basically guys, there is one particular instrument, that is the corporate bond. There are the corporate bond. So what are the corporate bond? Corporate bond are the instruments through which the corporate sector raises the debt from the market. If you buy a corporate bond, for let's say if you buy the Reliance's corporate bond, it means you have given a loan to the Reliance and Reliance will pay you the interest. So many institutional players, they buy the corporate bonds and they keep them. But suppose Reliance needs money and Reliance issues the corporate bond. Okay, corporate bond of 1000 crore rupees. Let's say out of this 1000 crore rupees, Tata has bought the corporate bonds of Reliance of 100 crore rupees. Now let's say today Tata needs money. Let's say they bought it 5 years back and the maturity will be in 20 years. Today let's say Tata need money. What they can do? They have to liquidate this particular corporate bond. They have to sell it in the market. But there is no other option that how they can arrange for the money. So basically guys, for this particular thing, we need to have a platform where the people having the corporate bonds, they can come, they can keep these particular corporate bonds at a pledge, and in return they can take the money, they can take the loan, and whenever they will have the money, they will pay back the loan and will take their corporate bonds back. So basically we need to develop the corporate bond repo transaction market, so where the market players can come together and can meet their short-term liquidity needs without having to liquidate their assets. So as the Tata had the liquidity need, they have the money need, they can get the money just by pledging their corporate bonds and can raise the money. So here all these players fine will come together on this particular platform. This is the limited purpose clearing corporation that has been announced by the finance ministry. Okay, so that is about it. Now we have this article, India Japan will work to strengthen peacetime cooperation, Jaishankar. So basically guys, what actually has happened, the 15th, just a minute, fine. So actually what has happened, 15th annual India Japan foreign ministers strategic dialogue was held, and in this particular dialogue both in the external affair minister of India and the foreign minister of Japan, they were holding a press conference, and basically it has been said that okay, what question was asked by the press conference, what answer was given, some questions were avoided, all these things are going on which you don't need to go. However, one question was asked to the external affair minister, that how India and Japan will cooperate during the time of the war. So in external affair minister of India had said that we will be focusing on peacetime cooperation more. Okay, and then Japan and India are the natural partners. Okay, and also guys, what has happened, India and Japan military exercise also happened recently, which was the first ever fighter exercise by fine. Now basically these particular things are showing that India and Japan has the close relations and are moving on the multiple fronts. India has also called Japan as an exemplar modernizer because of the modern technologies fine that they embrace. So this is something that has happened. Beyond this, guys, nothing much has been given in this particular article. Fine. So I'll not advise you to go too much in detail. And the main practice question for today: discuss the key recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission. So this will be a 10 marker question. Okay, so that is all guys about it. I hope that you have understood it, and with this we come to an end to the today's session, guys. Now we'll be meeting on Monday. Till then, please take care of yourselves. Sadiq Taslim, sir, I am feeling broken. What I can do? Sadiq, do one thing. Message me on the Telegram. Send me a DM, and we'll discuss what issue you are